Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Beneath the Mountain. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about $25, though there is a 20% discount until October 4th, 2022. So if you like what you see here, you can get the game for about $5 cheaper. So I will not be reviewing this right now because I haven't played it a whole lot. I've been extremely busy. And truth be told, I feel like the game is so early in its current state that it wouldn't really be a favorable review. It is early access, so I did say that. Everything that you're seeing is subject to change, and I'm probably going to wait until the game has developed a bit more. There's not even a tutorial in place yet. I've been sort of just messing around on my own, trying to figure things out. So this game reminds me a little bit of a game of dwarves, in the sense that you're going to be mining out blocks underground with your dwarves in order to gain resources. Let's go ahead and take a look at the options menu real quick so I can actually turn the music off. It's at 1%. I'm surprised I can still hear it. Maybe I'll just turn that down too. Okay, so there's graphic settings here. Just pause if you want to see any of this in greater detail. I will say that my NVIDIA card is blowing like mad over here. It's a new computer. It's a 3000 series NVIDIA card, so it should be up to the task. I only see my fan do this whenever like I'm playing Star Wars Battlefront or something, but not. It's just weird that it's happening with this game. I guess, long story short, I don't think the game is fully optimized yet. As far as the rest of it goes, input and miscellaneous. Again, just pause if you want to see any of that in greater detail. And again, the tutorial is grayed out right now. You can set a custom difficulty down here. There's no label though. It doesn't say what the settings will be. This one says Nightmare and that's it. It doesn't say what the rest do. Like, what are the stats? Like, what kind of stat changes can I see? However, I did see this little cogwheel. I can click on that, and it says here general settings, initial gold, enemy damage adjust, and so on. I actually halved that just to make my run a little bit easier. You can adjust cave strength, variance. I highly suggest, if you're playing this for the first time, there is no tutorial, so you're going to want to turn down the settings a bit to make it a bit easier. It seems like, based on these settings, there's an invasion mechanic where you're trying to gain resources and grow your forces while combating this invasion. I have not experienced this invasion yet. I'm still on the first floor mining out resources. I did encounter some nasty guys, and I killed them with my king. My king is like my main unit. Again, very similar to a game of dwarves. I think that was Paradox Interactive. I could be wrong about that. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and actually, I can hit play. I did, and that's a problem. I think I just quit the game. Why that button has to be there is beyond me. Let's go ahead and hit play now, and we'll bring the window back up. Apologies for that, but that is a really bad place for a quit button. There's also no confirmation. So if you accidentally click it, well, your game is closed at that point. This game just bugs me in a number of different ways. So I'm going to hit load instead, and there's my save file. And again, I'm about half an hour to an hour into this particular playthrough. Hopefully it loads up without a hitch. Hang in there, computer. I know you're angry. Yeah, this game is just not very well optimized right now. Okay, so I'll just give you a tour as to what's going on right now. Upper left-hand corner is your king. Do not let the king die. That's, again, that was your primary goal in a game of dwarves. So very similar there. You can see the current day. You can see how many population you have, how much gold you have. Prestige, not yet fully implemented. We've got stone. We've got iron produced by the forge, which is a particular building. There's food. I do not know how to gain food. I'm assuming that I find it in the environment. I was unable to find like a little farm building. In a game of dwarves, you could build like little mushroom farms and other things to feed your people. I didn't see any of that here in the build menus, but I'll get to that in a minute. You've also got these engineering parts, which are used to create traps and specific units. You've also got this runic knowledge tree. You automatically gain 1 point every 5 minutes without a library, but if you do have a library, that will speed up. If I click on it, you can see that I can assign points across multiple categories. There's king, mining, buildings, infantry, culture, magic, and traps. So it's just a matter of personal preference. I'm kind of focusing on the economy right now with the whole mining, but I just created an infantry structure, so I may want to start working on that. I'll come back to this later when I've had more time to actually think about it. On the bottom left is a time control. There's pause, play, and fast forward. I'll go ahead and pause it right now. And then you can actually select all from here. There's little buttons on the bottom left. You can select all the different kinds of units. You'll start with some miners and some engineers. The miners will go out and mine walls, whereas the engineers will put floor down so that you can actually build on them. They may also put torches on the wall, which is kind of interesting. You've also got 3 build menus on the bottom left, like tabs. And unbeknownst to me, for the longest time, I didn't see this, but there's a 4th one on over here to the right of this little UI section. It's called resource producing. This is where you can go to produce like your library, or you can build your workshop, your forge, and so on. So this was an easily overlooked tab that I didn't even know existed until I was looking at this closely. But long story short, you're going to be mining stuff out. Now, I will say that if you reach your gold cap, your miners will no longer mine. And this is a problem because these buildings are freaking huge and you cannot upgrade them. It's so weird. Like, I built this small house. I built this library. I have like 2 treasuries. Yeah, I have 2 treasuries because I kept hitting my cap and I couldn't spend my money anywhere because I didn't have any room to. Because I was sort of branching out equally around my... you start with a mining camp, which is this here. The mining camp lets you build miners and engineers, which is, again, units that you already start with. So it's just weird that, you cannot upgrade these buildings so that they can store more. In the beginning of the game, like I said, I had a problem. I was digging out just randomly around rather than focusing on one big chunk. By clearing out one big chunk, I can put down another building, but if I dig out equally, there's a chance I will not be able to fit a particular building. So I was sitting here, maxed out on gold, and my miners wouldn't clear any more space, so I'm sitting here, well, I've got all this money, I can't put anything down because I don't have any space. What do I do now? So I just started buying various upgrades and trying to figure something out. Eventually, I sort of managed to focus them on like this corner here. There is a light mechanic. You can spend these wooden lamp posts in order to light the way. However, you cannot put light posts next to each other. Like, there's a certain distance that they have to be from each other, or else you cannot put them down, which is kind of silly. But I can put that there, for example. Okay. I'm going to continue, I think. I'm looking for the next clump of land to build. Maybe I'll build, like, something right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on this. There's no click and drag to select multiple things to drill. It's just, or to mine. It's just you have to click each one individually. I have not tried a click and hold. I'm just curious. No. Yeah. So again, in games like Dungeon 1, 2, and 3, you can click and hold and dig out multiple sections of walls. Here you have to click on each one at a time. Also not an ideal thing for a game like this. I expected a bit better, but again, early access. So there's just a multitude of buildings that I could not tell you what they do yet because I've not built them all. This is more of like a quick tour of the opening parts of the game. You're going to want to put a tavern down at some point so that you can heal your miners and your engineer and your king, only because there are bad guys in the environment that will, at some point when you discover them, they will kill you. They will come after you and kill you. So you're going to need to find a way to heal them up. Another thing you're going to need is a bunch of houses. Again, I built a small house here, no way to upgrade it. So I had to build another small house over here. It's really weird. You've got these huge buildings and no way to upgrade them to save on space. It's just kind of weird. And you're wondering, well, can you upgrade it here? I possibly, but I have not seen anything. I don't see a way to upgrade. And these tooltips are actually going off of the screen in some cases. Yeah, like I can't read that. It's going off the screen. I can't read it. So again, this is not a game I would say... I mean, there are early access games that are like top-notch, no problems, easily playable. This game is a little rough around the edges right now. Yeah, I don't see anything here that'll... under buildings especially. I mean, there's stuff like after eating food at a tavern, dwarves gain +2, I guess, attack, whatever that is. Lampposts are built for free. After eating at a tavern, demolishing a building grants you stuff. But nothing with regard to upgrading buildings to a next tier level. Huge oversight. Maybe it's there for balance purposes, I don't know. But with all of this with this limited space, it's just a wonder why you cannot upgrade buildings. It's so weird. I may demolish this lamppost so I can put a building here. House is 17 out of 20, so maybe I can put another house over there. I like to put something else down that I don't have yet. Caster units that provides defensive buffs to nearby dwarves. Tavern, I already have one of those. Treasury extends my gold cap there. Let's see. I don't have any iron yet. What about iron? Let's see. The forge produces 1 unit of iron every 60 seconds. It doesn't say if it consumes anything. It just produces it. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this down over here. And my engineers will come over and start working on it. In the meantime, I need to think about, where's my next building going to go. As far as I can tell, these are stairs that you can put down, and that will unlock, I guess, the next level. I do not know what the end game is here. Is it survive for as long as you can? Is there a final boss if you go so far down? Again, without a tutorial, my guess is as good as yours. There is a floor toggle here, but I can't actually use it right now until I build some stairs. I'm a little hesitant to open this up yet until I get a military force going. Yeah, so it looks like it's automatically just producing iron. There's a couple of upgrades here. Forges produce iron 10% faster. I guess I could do that. I need to find a way to spend this money. I may want to consider, let's go ahead. It looks like there's a lot of golden stuff over here. We'll put... can I put something over here? This looks like a chasm. Maybe I'll leave that. If I dig out too much, then I can't put any buildings down. Maybe I'll hold off on that. Yeah, maybe I'll just focus my efforts on expanding in this direction. Putting something down over this way might be the best bet. No, can't seem to mine that one for some reason. I'm not exactly sure. It just says X. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, very early access at the present time. You can also build traps. You need those engineer parts, which, again, is part of this production resource producing tab. I'll just see if I can put one of those down real quick. Workshop, there it is. So, can I fit it? I can. I can put that right there. That's fine. And then I should probably build a couple of military units. As far as the military units I've seen up to this point, there's a dwarf warrior, which has an axe and a shield. You can build a tunnel scout, experienced veteran, which is spelled incorrectly, of tunnel warfare, axe guard, a dwarf warrior armed with a fierce two-handed axe, dwarven berserker. So these are a number of different things that you can do. There's also, under military, there is a Berserker Hall, a place for dwarves to fight and drink. Allows the training of Berserker units. I'll see if I can throw that down there. That's fine. See, now that I'm actually planning out my digging, I have a lot more room. Note that there's dirt here, and I cannot put anything down on dirt until the engineers put flooring down, which is what they're kind of doing right now. And when they're not building buildings, they're putting stone things down. This light is very dark. I don't know if that's by design or not, but it's, yeah. it's very difficult to see anything. I'm old. Can I? Yeah, again, you can't put lamps next to each other, which is so weird. I guess we'll try this stone lamp post. How about over there? Yeah. So, again, I'm not going to review it right now, but hopefully this gives you a small taste as to what you're in for should you decide to pick this up. Combat is pretty straightforward. Enemies show up, they chase your units, and you kill them just by just a standard little RTS kind of thing. Nothing too fancy. If I click on the king, I don't see any like special powers that he has, only that he's like more tanky than the rest of them. Where is he? There he is. So if I zoom in on him, this is what your king looks like. So I guess if you've played a game of dwarves and say Dungeons 3 or 2 and you're looking for another game like it, this one isn't bad, but it's also not great right now. It's just, again, it's still very early. Dungeons 3 has a lot more polish to it, and you know, you can build off rooms and you get room bonuses. Here you're just kind of throwing stuff down willy-nilly. There's mine carts in this, which is great, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that this game doesn't do yet that those other games do. So yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to come down on this game, you know, too hard. I'm just warning you folks that, again, I've played a lot of early access titles. Some of them are really good, like 1 or 2 faults, and that's it. Here, I'm getting, you know, very high frame rate drops on occasion. My fan's blowing out the wazoo. Not being able to upgrade buildings is just very weird. So yeah, I would say if you're on the fence with this, definitely wait a while. But if you cannot possibly stand, you know, waiting, or if you just want to support the developer, then by all means pick this up. Again, it's 20% off until, what did I say, October 4th? So that's about 2 days, 3 days from now. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.